and then is powerlifting. So my teaching speech is going to be about meet day. So you always got to start with a good pump up song and a playlist. And then I claim this to be my lifting song. I listen to the song usually about every time I do like a big workout or every workout, and then every day on meet day. So it might not be loud. And then a lot of the times before you lift, it's like on meet days to get fast sugar into you, so kind of shout out to the cookies from Tia, because a lot of the times before we lift, we take a lot of supplements. So I take creatine and protein that's all on the floor, and pre-workout. And then we always eat something that has like quick sugar in it, so like cookies and stuff like that. And then, I'm going to stop this. And then, so usually you start with squat, you'll have 3 attempts, and then you'll do bench and you have 3 attempts, and you'll do deadlift and you have 3 attempts. So for what you use for squat, because I'm a raw power lifter, so like there's a difference between raw and equipped. So raw, you can use knee sleeves, wrist wraps, and a belt. And equipped lifting is like you can use elbow sleeves for benching, knee wraps, like yeah, bench, like shirts that help you bench or something. I don't know. I considered it cheating because
they pull your arms forward.
Yeah.
And it's an assist.
Yeah. And another thing is it's like I lift through the USPLA, so it's strictly like you cannot take substances to help you lift. Like everyone gets drug tested at every meet. 10% of the people get drug tested. I have not yet to be drug tested yet, but I know I'd pass because I firmly believe that like you shouldn't take steroids or stuff like that. I'm very against it. So for squat, you have to hit parallel. So I'm not gonna hurt it. So this, you can wear a belt. That usually helps so like you don't hurt your back or anything. And these sleeves just help your knee. I actually don't know exact reason why. I just have them. So squat, you have to. Well, I don't know. You have to hit depth. There's also a difference between like lifting. So a lot of people do high bar. So like the bar sits right here, or there's low bar where like the bar sits on like the back of your shoulders, which I do low bar because whenever I have a high bar, I always tend to like come up and like bend forward. I have a big issue with that. So you have to hit depth. So like hitting depth is anything below parallel. So like here or like here, but like doing half squats are just a big no-no. So that's the first part of squat. You usually have 3 attempts. So you have your opener, which your opener is always going to be something pretty easy you know you can get. Your second attempt is going to be something a little more. It could be like a step to like what you want to do the most on your third attempt, or you could just jump to like doing as much as you can. So it really depends on like where you're at in the meet or what you want to do. But usually like my first lift I keep it safe, and also you can miss lifts. So if you miss a lift, you can go up in weight or you can stay at the same weight, but you can never go down in weight. You have to either stay at the same weight or go up. Like at my last meet, I missed my opener because I didn't hit depth just because I was really nervous. And I was opening in over at like over 400, so I think it was like 402 point something. I don't know, because we lift in kilos, so I don't know the exact pounds. So I missed my first lift. I had to redo it for my second lift. So the last one, we were kind of off track because we were going to hit 415 and then do 430. But then we ended up just doing 430, which I ended up getting. So it all really depends on like how you're feeling, what you want to do, and stuff like that. So Next is bench. These things are also a pain in the butt. They're terrible to get off and to get on. Normally I take my shoes off. No. So bench, you have to do pause bench for benching. So instead of like doing tap and goes like normal people do bench workouts, you have to come down and you have to hold the bent bar till it's not moving. And then the judges will say press. So for judges, there's normally 3 judges. There's one that's behind you here, and they normally do all the commands. So with squat, the commands are, you'll on rack, you'll set yourself until your knees are locked out, and then they'll say squat. So you squat down, you hit depth, come up, and they'll say rack. So if you move before they say the rack command, you will get a no lift because you didn't listen to commands. So that's another way you can miss a lift is by not listening to commands for bench. They'll lift off, they'll say bench or like down, then you'll hold it, and then they'll say press, and then they'll also say rack. So you have to unrack it, go down, hold till it's not moving, and then they'll say press, you go up, block it out, and then they'll say rack, and then you can bring it back. And at USPLA meets, they usually have 3 spotters for behind you and the 2 sides, but anything over 500, they'll have 5 spotters. Because they want to make sure everyone's safe and not getting hurt or crushed under bars. Because I've almost seen it happen. There's an outfit. So bench is just unwrapping it, bringing it out, going down, moving it till it's not moving, going up, and then.
Good pause. I'll kill you.
I'm not going to go anything over these. So deadlift is one I had a hard time with my first meet because you can get called on different stuff like hitching. So like hitching is like when you bring the bar up and you're like moving it up your legs and just like using. There's also a new thing called ramping. So it's like where you get here, you get your knees and then you push them out. So it's kind of like hitching, but it's kind of like thrusting the bar up. So deadlift is one of the easier ones for commands because all you do is you walk up, you bring it up, and then they say down, and then you have to take it up, and then you have to set it down. You can't just drop it, or they'll call you no lift because it's bad for the equipment. It's just something can happen, and it's not good. So that's deadlift, and then usually at the end of the meet, there's a bunch of different classes. So like I lift in team 2, so that means I lift with 16 and 17-year-olds. So that's team 2. Team 3 is like 18 and 19. And then there's younger classes, but there's also open classes. So open classes, and you can be any age, and it's just everyone in that weight class that goes in it. So usually I lift team 2 and open, but there's like master classes, team classes, like normal classes. So, but a lot of people, if you can get a lot of good stuff from being in open classes just because you can compete against more people than just your own age. And then usually at the end of the meet, there's a award given to best lifter. So it's like how much you lift compared to your body weight. I think I was pretty close to, I would have been the next person to get it at my last meet, but usually it's like the tiny girls who get it, because some of them are crazy. They're like really crazy, and they can lift a lot compared to their body weight, so yeah. So that's my info speech.